LLM agents, so large language models. It starts out as training them like parrots. Polly, would you want to, they know the words cracker. Mary had a little lamb. So that's how it started out, but they're becoming massively more robust than that. They can be used for chatbots, personal AI assistants, and they're being injected into everything. And I'm personally, I'm getting sick of everybody having a chat agent on every page. But once you get into the personal AI assistants and MCPs, which is Model Context Protocol, then you really do actually see where this could be a powerful tool rather than just another annoying chatbot to chat with. This is just a list of open LLMs. Again, there's so many of them popping up right now, specialized for this, specialized for that. They're limited in intelligence. Actually, I think there was something that just came out recently. I think Apple was blowing the lid off of them, but they actually do have uses as an interface, in my opinion, more so than generalized intelligence or anything like that. AWS Lex is their tool that they use to basically convert basic chat into commands. You can give it a list of commands that it knows, similar to MCP, and it will try and do its best to figure out what the user's talking about and select a command to run and then relay that back to the user. AWS Connect isn't an AI tool itself, but it is how you connect it to phone calls, SMS, email. So if you wanted to replace your customer service with AWS Lex, theoretically it'd be possible with AWS Connect. It's that gateway to all the ways the world already is talking to the LLM. AWS Q is a much more robust business insight tool. So it's like how you wouldn't give your users access to your data lake, your business insight tool, because they could run some expensive queries there. The same is the difference here. AWS Lex is the public facing type thing where you let everybody interact with it and it can only do specific things. AWS Q is capable of doing much more. It is a phenomenal business LLM. It can fall off the rails just like anything else, but it's basically deep search. If you've ever done deep research with Gemini or any of those, then you're going to want to check out AWS Q. You can run LLMs on Bedrock because technically LLMs are generative. You feed it a prompt, it types words back. SageMaker, of course, is such a flexible tool. You can easily use it with SageMaker. And now we're getting into an interesting kind of niche. So this isn't necessarily a subgenre of model as much as it is a business use case. Just keep that in mind. When I made these, I wasn't trying to come at this from a scientific perspective as much as I was from a business perspective. But I'm seeing more and more need for web scrapers. People are trying to get more and more data out of the internet. And again, that's what's getting certain people in trouble there. But maybe you want to do it for sentiment analysis. Say I've got an e-commerce store and I sell shoes and I want to know how much inventory I should pre-buy for the next quarter or whatever. I may want to know what people are saying on the forums or wherever about the shoes. And if they're saying bad things, then I'm not going to want to buy as many. Additionally, deep research. Dominic is doing a whole bunch of deep research for Schematical right now. He's basically scraping the internet and then answering our questions with it. So it's interesting how to do it. The dark arts, as I said earlier, people don't always want you to be scraping their websites. There are a whole bunch of ways around that, which in the book I'll go into in more detail, but it's actually pretty fascinating to see how it's being done right now. I actually did a post just a few weeks ago how I would use lambdas to do a very basic walk around from basically being IP address listed from one IP. But there's also with desktop, like with Claude, I can give it control of my desktop right now, or more specifically, I can give it control of a window and have it run JavaScript commands and browse using Playwright and Bright Data. But there's a couple different ones where it can bypass. Again, I'm not a lawyer. Make sure you have the legal right to do everything. But just so everybody's aware, it doesn't come without complications. There are some open source tools that are basically this in a package. I'm a little late to the game on Model Context Protocol, but my gosh, that has so much potential. I'm going to actually have that try and filter out a bunch of noise for me and by browsing certain sites and just filtering out all the garbage that's on there. So I have a curated feed instead of seeing just so much random nonsense in there. So that's going to be a fun project. But if you wanted to do this, you should check out Amazon Kendra. Amazon Kendra, and I'm phrasing this like this, not them, is like their version of creating your own in-house Google. You can connect it to a lot of different data sources, one of which is a crawler. And they say only crawl things that your websites have permission to crawl, follow their advice legally. But Amazon Kendra is pretty powerful there, and it also can crawl a ton of other data sources. I am so eager to wire that into my client's data lake. I am like foaming at the mouth to do that. So, because I believe it can parse Parquet files and many other things. So it's pretty cool. You should check that out, even if you're not doing AI. It's a great, amazing search tool there.